cruise. Can I get a story from you? A
Listen, Bill,
statement of any
you know
kind?
how I feel about this thing, but... Excuse me, will you? Hey. What's the matter, baby?
Oh, everything. Just everything.
Oh, no. Now, when I left, you were going to go tell your family that you and I are back together again?
Oh, I did. Daddy was very happy. Oh, Bruce.
Then what is it?
I'm just afraid.
About the trial?
But Ted just can't be found guilty now, not the way Daddy is right now.
Well, I know it would break his heart probably, but I mean... I'd give anything in the world to be able to reassure you, Eden, but I don't know how.
Well, it looks bad for him. Everyone knows that. This trial could end today, and we haven't done anything to help him. I mean, why couldn't something be done to make sure this doesn't last any longer?
I thought that the shirt idea would pay off, but it looks like it's going to be a dead end. But I am pushing forensics to try to generate some alternative
But it's a long shot.
Well,
we only have a few hours left.
Long shots pay off sometimes.
Sometimes isn't good enough. I'm sorry.
I know. It's okay, I understand.
I know you do. And why didn't Mason get more character witnesses for Ted? I mean, the entire senior class at Lyman Prep would have testified for him.
I think Mason's done a fine job of establishing Teddy's character. It's Christie's testimony and the pile of circumstantial evidence against him.
Then what can we do?
I don't know. But we can't give up.
I have never been so frightened in my entire life.
Cece, darling, where are you going? You're supposed to be in bed. The doctors told you that.
You know I can't stay there.
Darling, you've had a small stroke.
Sophia, please, someone may overhear you. Forgive me.
All right, I'm sorry, but if you go out, people will be able to see that you're ill.
Well, they'll just think I'm tired and overworked. That's all. And Eden will keep my secret.
Cece, I want you to take care of yourself. I need you. Baby, we all need you.
I don't know how I survived those years we were apart. I can't imagine ever being without you.
I'm sorry, I could have come down the back way, but it's late. Are you going to the courthouse?
Yes, I am going to the courthouse. Where do you think you're going?
No matter what's happened between us, Cece, I still care very much about Ted.
You don't give a damn about Ted.
Cece, don't.
Yes, I do.
You're using the trial as an excuse to hang around your lover, Mason.
You don't need an excuse to hang around your lover, do you? You just brought her into our home.
This is no longer your home, not anymore.
You can't stop me from loving Ted or from supporting him. He was there for me when I needed him, and I'm going to be there for him now, no matter what you say.
Won't be long and she'll be out of our lives. You coming along?
Of course I'm coming along. Ted needs both his parents. I'm not going to leave your side.
The jury will be watching every expression on my face, every move I make, and I cannot let Steve Bassett get to me. I've heard every word you said, Mason.
Yeah, but have you got it, Ted? Because believe me, Bassett's going to come after you like a bloodhound when he gets you on the stand in cross-examination.
I believe you.
And on that stand, you've got to be truthful, you've got to appear confident without being cocky, you've got to be polite without looking scared.
You know, I'm beginning to get this feeling, Mason, it doesn't matter how I act up there. I mean, that they've already made up their minds against me. I mean, they all believed Christie.
Ted, never try to second-guess the jury. And please don't start going hopeless on me now, okay?
Just tell me the truth. What do you think my chances are?
Well, if your innocence, plus all my skill, experience, and total commitment to your exoneration count for anything, I'd say your chances are pretty good.
I've been doing is giving you a hard time, Mason. I haven't even thanked you. Look, have you moved back to the house yet?
No, not yet.
Why not?
Ted, let's not dissipate our energies with idle chatter, huh? We need to concentrate on the trial.
Time's up, Mr. Capwell.
All right, fine. Ted.
Yeah. Mason, I'll never forget what you've done for me. However it turns out.
Ed,
Hey, could you give us a few minutes alone, please?
I had to walk out in the middle of a business luncheon to meet you, Mason.
Well, I'm sorry, Lindsay, but I had to see you.
Well, you said you wanted a favor. Well, I'm sorry I can't do it for you. I can't do any of your legwork for you on this trial. I got too many cases of my own.
It's not about the trial, Lindsay. It's about your relationship with Channing Jr. My father wanted me to contact you.
This is it, Christy. Capel's last stand. Both Capels. I'll demolish Ted in my cross-examination. You'll finish Mason off when you take the stand. You just keep repeating what you said before, and we're home free. Not scared, are you? Don't be, honey. The worst is over, and it hasn't been so bad after all, has it? We'll have the distinction, you and I, of putting a Capel behind bars. His case has made my reputation in this town, and it's restored yours. It's put Theta on the wagon, brought Mary home. Christy, we got a great future ahead of us. You know, I was thinking we ought to sell the house in Ventura, move the whole family here permanently, buy a nicer place. I can take care of Theta and Mary till they get work. You can go back to school, do anything you want to do. You won't have to worry about a thing. It's just like before. No, better than before. Because now, you know you can trust me. I'll always come through for you. You're not frightened of me anymore, are you? I can tell you're not. Well, that's good. That's real progress. Bet I can even touch you now and you won't jump away.
What are you gonna do to Ted on that stand today?
I told you. Demolish him. Destroy whatever credibility he has left. What I've been waiting for.
Since our chauffeur is now on the board of directors, maybe I should get somebody else on the board to drive me around.
All right, here it is.
Here, what is?
It's a Malone. Ben is better, wants to talk to you. Come to 1750 Anna Cap at 8 o'clock tonight. This should do it.
Who's Ben? Who's Malone? And why is there still a spot on this blouse?
Well, I've been trying to lure somebody out in the open by running these ads.
Warren, since when have you become so cryptic? Who are you trying to lure and why?
Well, this is actually a witness in the Gillis case. Maggie's case.
Ah, yes, Maggie. So you think this person, Malone, will help her case, huh?
Well, actually, he was the only person who was around when Ben was in the accident. We thought he was either bought or scared off because he disappeared right after the accident and we haven't been able to find him since.
Well, let's just hope he reads newspapers.
This newspaper.
Listen, are you coming to the remnants of your father's very silly but sweet party?
I thought he canceled that when he found out he was going to live.
Yes, he did, but he's afraid somebody may show up, and if they don't, then we'll be the only two people there. Please, Warren, you must come and eat the canopy.
I'm sorry, Mother. This guy really is crucial to the case. I've got to be there if he shows up, okay? See you.
I closed the door on that part of my life, Mason. I'm a married man now.
Well, congratulations, Lindsay.
I don't want to rake up the past. I don't want anything more to do with the Capwells. Is CC still trying to figure out what my connection with Channing was?
Lindsay, he knows what your connection was.
CC knows?
He knows that you and Channing were lovers. And this may come as a surprise to you, but I think he wants to share some of your memories of Channing.
Oh, come on, Mason. What do you take me for?
I was as amazed by his reaction as you are, Lindsay, but apparently the old man's really mellowed over the years. The fact that you love Channing and have memories of him that you could share seems to be very important to him.
Oh, really? Is that why he's confiding in you, Mason? I thought he kicked you out of the family.
Like I said, I guess he's mellowed, Lindsay. He even asked if you had a picture of the two of you together, and I burned the ones I had.
Well, I still have one that I didn't destroy. Channing was so terrified that his father was going to find out about us. I think that was the reason why he broke it off with us.
I think you're probably right. Look, I'm going to have to cut this short and get back into the courtroom. You know, if it's not too much of an imposition, I'd be grateful if you could get me that picture before tonight. This trial is taking a big toll on Dad. I think he could use all the moral support he could get. You know, C.C. Capwell could be a pretty influential friend for a newlywed with a struggling law practice to have.
Sure, I'll see you later.
Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate it.
Wasn't that,
Lindsay Smith, Channing's one and only for one brief, shining moment.
What's he doing here?
He's going to help me perform the last rites over the legend of Channing Capwell Jr. I may be on my way out of the family, Gina, but I won't be going alone. This time I'm taking Channing with me.
Ted, you were accepted at both Stanford and Harvard. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
But you decided to attend college here in Santa Barbara. What was your reason for that?
To be with somebody I care about a lot.
Your girlfriend?
Yes, sir.
Would you mind telling us who she is, Ted?
Her name's Lakin Lockridge.
Are you in love with her?
Yes, sir. Very much.
How long have you two been together?
A little over a year, on and off.
Were you together at the time Christy Duvall was raped?
Yes, sir. And we were closer than we've ever been before.
The bracelet that Christy Duvall stole was intended as a present for Lakin Lockridge, was it not?
Objection. Miss Duvall has repeatedly denied having stolen that bracelet.
Objection sustained. What's your choice of words, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. The bracelet that Christy Duvall had in her possession was originally intended as a present for Lakin Lockridge, the young woman that you love. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Ted, did you rape Christy Duvall?
No, I did not.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Your examination, Mr. Bassett.
I gather you and Lakin haven't had an easy time of it, Ted.
No, sir, we haven't.
During the time that you and she were apart, did you date other girls?
No, not really. I went out with other kids and stuff, but I didn't go out with anybody special.
You're a one-woman man.
Yes, sir, I guess you could say that.
You're also a young and healthy man. Wouldn't it be fair to say that at least part of your attraction to Lakin is sexual?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Have you and Lakin had sexual relations, Ted?
Objection. The defendant's private sexual activity has no bearing on this case.
Your Honor, it seems to me that Mr. Capel's attitude about sex and about women has every relevance to the crime he's accused of committing. The counsel for the defense has just taken great pains to establish his client's feelings of love for his girlfriend. I simply intend to further explore the nature of their relationship.
Objection overruled. I'm going to allow you to continue with this line of questioning for now, Mr. Bassett, and see where it takes you. Proceed.
Ted, I asked you if you and Lakin had ever slept together. Please answer the question.
Yes.
Often?
Objection. I fail to see any possible point to that question.
I'll get to the point if Mr. Capel will stop interrupting.
Objection overruled. I'm going to expect you to connect this up, counsel.
I will, Your Honor. Ted, how many times would you say you and Lakin have had sex?
Two, 3 times.
Well, which was it, 2 or 3? That couldn't be too hard to keep track of.
I made love 3 times.
Would you speak up, please?
3 times.
3 times. In a little over a year. You stated you haven't gone out with anyone else. Are you saying you only had sex with a girl 3 times in a little over a year? A handsome guy like you.
That's right, sir.
Ted, would you say you had normal sexual drives for a young man your age?
I object, Your Honor, unless the prosecution can provide expert testimony on what's normal for an 18-year-old.
I'll withdraw the question. Ted, let me put it this way. Whose choice was it to have sex only 3 times in a little over a year, yours or Lakin's?
It was both of ours.
Well, that must have been frustrating for you.
Well, it was frustrating sometimes.
So it wouldn't be too far off the mark to say that you've been walking around for the past few years feeling pretty sexually frustrated.
Objection. He's putting words into the witness's mouth.
Sustained.
Ted, did you want to make love to Lakin many more times than you were able to?
Now, it's not like
Just
that.
answer the question.
Well, I
yes or no.
can't. Now, all right, sure, but it was okay if we didn't because I love her that much. And it's okay if we don't until the time is right. That's how I feel, and that's how she feels too.
And when was that? Would you please tell the court when you made love to Lakin?
Same day I was thrown in jail.
You mean the day your bail was revoked for repeated violations?
Yeah, but July 30th.
July 30th. That was a couple of days after you raped Chrissy, right?
No, I did not rape her. But yes, it was the same day that actually, it was the day after I was with Lakin.
In other words, you went with Lakin for months and months, but you only slept with her after you'd had sex with Christy.
I didn't have sex with Christy.
Many times he never touched the girl.
Sustained. Mr. Bassett, your questions are improper.
Sorry, Your Honor. Ted, was your recent experience with Lakin your first sexual experience? You were a virgin until then.
Yes, sir, I was.
Well, you must have been in quite a bind, going steady with a girl who kept you at arm's length all the time.
No, she didn't keep me at arm's length.
A girl who wasn't ready for the kind of relationship you obviously were, but who wouldn't let you go.
Objection,
It was nothing
Your
like
Honor.
that.
He's putting words into the witness's mouth, just making speeches.
Isn't it true that Lakin was driving you crazy by holding yourself back? That you couldn't control yourself any longer? That you finally exploded and raped?
No!
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. Prosecutor's questions is overheated, but it's within permissible bounds. I advise the jury to ignore the histrionics and pay attention to the witness's answers.
Look, Your Honor, I just want to say something here. Mr. Bassett here is making me sound like I'm some sex-starved nut. Now, rape is a crime of violence against women. There's nothing sexual about it.
That's right, Ted. It's the act of a man who hates women. You were abandoned by your mother when you were a child, weren't you?
I was 3 years old, but no, I was not abandoned. She was in an accident, and she got sick.
A 3-year-old whose mother suddenly disappears must feel deserted, rejected by the most important woman in his life. Is that where your anger at women came from, Ted?
I do not hate women.
The prosecutor's credentials as a psychoanalyst have yet to be established.
Sustained. Leave the psychological interpretations to the experts, please, Mr. Bassett.
I'll try, Your Honor. Ted, in your objective opinion, do you think Christy is attractive to men?
I object, Your Honor. The witness can't testify to what other men think. He can only testify to what he thinks.
Sustained.
What did you think of her, Ted?
Well, I didn't really think much about it. She's a cute girl. I think she comes on a little strong sometimes.
What do you mean by coming on strong?
Well, she can be very seductive, and well, she'll talk about the men she was with. And
did Christy seem easy to you? Did you think you could pay her to do what Lakin wouldn't?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't you? You're rich. You can buy a kid like Christy.
Objection.
But when she said no, did you feel rejected again, the way you did with your mother?
Your Honor.
Did it make you so mad that you attacked her?
No!
Objection. He's not letting the witness answer anything. He's just making another speech.
She was going to have to make it up to you, wasn't she? All the times you'd been teased and turned down by your puritanical, frigid girlfriend.
And don't you talk about Lakin that way, all right?
There was an order in this court. Objection is sustained. You have gone too far, Mr. Bassett.
Sorry, Your Honor. There are only 2 kinds of women to you, Capo. The virgin you worship and the sluts you pay for.
Objection.
In your mind, Christy was a slut, so she didn't have the right to turn you down. So she had to pay for it by being hurt, by being beaten and raped.
Mr. Bassett, you are questioning this witness.
Admit it. I do.
Order in this courtroom.
You okay?
Yeah.
I'm with you. Can I help?
Do you have time?
Nothing but. What's on your mind?
What is it, in this life that you can trust?
Oh. Well, that's like the world's toughest question.
I believe in Ted. Not because he's my brother. He is the most honest human being I have ever met. And if one person on this earth should be treated fairly, it's him. He's never hurt anyone. Why is life being unfair to him?
Eden, he hasn't been convicted yet.
Don't give me false hope.
Yeah, I know. It seems bad for him. That's obvious, I admit that. But, you know, I've seen some very surprising, even astounding reversals in situations like this. It can happen. So, I have hope.
I want something I can believe in. I want something I can count on. I need that.
Is it too easy to say you can count on me?
You know, when we're children, we always think that our mom and dad, they're indestructible. Because that's what, we just need them so much, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unthinkable that they could die.
Are you talking about your father?
I'm still a child.
Yeah. And kind of a lost child right now, aren't you?
I need...
Come here. Oh, no, baby. Oh. I'm here for you. And I always will be.
I'm afraid to believe in that because I'm afraid something's gonna happen to you.
No, no, no. No, nothing's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna be here for you, Eden, always. You need something to trust. You trust that.
Mason, is the trial adjourned for the day?
No, we're just on a short recess.
Well, I thought you might be interested in knowing. I think I've found the Morgan Malone character, the guy that was with Ben during the accident. There's a good chance he's going to reappear tonight at a meeting I set up at Maggie's house.
Well, that's excellent, Warren. You might just be able to kill two birds with one Malone.
I don't quite follow you. I don't suppose you'd care to elaborate on that, would you?
You don't suppose correctly.
Well, would you care to come along tonight, then?
No. You guys go ahead and lay the groundwork.
All right. Mason, look, our main focus here is on helping Ben, not on destroying CC. I hope you share that goal.
How could you even suggest such a thing? Excuse me, Warren. I have some business.
Yeah, I'll be in touch.
Good. I'll be waiting.
how do you think it went with Ted on the stand?
You were there.
Yes, I know I was there, but I couldn't tell how the jury was reacting. His innocence was obvious to me, but I don't know what they thought. Bassett was vicious.
Yes, he was.
Was that just Lindsay Smith I saw you talking to?
Yes, it was. You know who he is.
What were you doing with him?
Legal maneuverings.
I think you're a liar, Mason, and I think you're up to something. And I'm warning you. I am not going to let you hurt Cece again.
See about that. Excuse me?
Mason, please. Go easy on my sister.
Have you ever heard of the word chutzpah, Mary? Because you've got a lot of it. As I was saying, excuse me?
Mason, please. It's over now. It was clear to everybody that you've lost. So why put Christy through more unnecessary hell?
After what your stepbrother put my brother through on the stand just now, I find it hard to take your request seriously, Mary.
We have a few minutes now. Can we be alone?
Gina, what are you suggesting?
Just that we talk. We have to, you know that.
Oh, for a minute I thought that even you're not that indiscreet. No, I'll be happy to rehash the day's events with Eugenia, but not right now. I have to talk to Cruz and Eden about something that may be our last hope. Excuse me.
I mean to say those things about you, about us. I mean, things that are nobody else's business in the world. I love you.
Of course, I won't sign anything till Steve looks it over, Mr. Coulson, but I don't mind telling you that I have always thought my life would make a fascinating story, so I wasn't a bit surprised when you contacted me.
Christy, just feel your inner strength, and then Mason can't hurt you. You did it once before up on the stand.
You all right, Christy?
Of course she's all right, Steve. Honey, it's almost over now. And when it is, we can get on with building normal lives for ourselves, and I can't wait. Listen, I'm going to go on in and make sure our seats aren't taken, okay?
I know you better than anyone in the world, Christy, and I can tell something's going on with you. You're so quiet, distant, it's not like you. Almost like you're planning something. Are you?
Well, if you know me better than anyone in the world, you should know.
No, don't play games with me.
Mary was wrong.
About what?
I'll never be able to live a normal life.
You're saying that. We're winning.
I thought maybe if I had my family back together, but that's not the answer. There is no answer, not anymore.
Christy, look at me. You're gonna stick to your story, right? You're gonna stick to your story when you get up there, aren't you? Aren't you? Answer me.
Don't worry about me. I can handle Mason. Like Mary said, I did it once, I can do it again.
I can't stand this. Ted was good, wasn't he?
Well, I think he did his best.
That Steve Bassett, I think he's the most hateful person I have ever met.
Mason?
Yeah.
I've been looking at the pictures Nick has been taking.
Yeah?
I don't know if you realize this or not, but when Christy's on the stand, every time your back is turned, she's been staring at Bassett. And Nick caught him nodding to her and then alternately smiling at her and then frowning at her.
Well, do you think he could be prompting her?
In my opinion, that's what it looks like.
What does that mean?
Well, it could mean that Bassett is in on her lie.
Exactly, boy. If we could just prove that.
Well, wait a second. You mean he knows that Ted is not lying and he's still prosecuting him?
What do you think, Counselor?
Well, I don't think it's inconceivable. But I think it's more likely he's doing everything he can to get her to stick to her story so that his case holds up.
Mason, Ted can't go to prison because of those terrible people. They're ganging up on him.
Doing everything I can, Eden.
I know that. I do. And there's a lot of pressure on you. I'm really glad that you're defending him.
Thank you, Eden.
Mason, do you have a moment for me now?
After all we've been through, Gina, how could I deny you a moment?
I don't understand your attitude, and I don't much like it either. We should stick together.
Oh, I don't have an attitude, Gina. All I have is a sick knot in the pit of my stomach.
Mason, you were brilliant in there. You'll get Ted off. I know you will.
From your words to the jury's ears, thank you for your kind words of support.
Do you have any kind of scheme for us to salvage something out of this disaster?
As a matter of fact, I have a couple. How did you know?
Well, I didn't know. I just assumed you would. You always do. Well, tell me about it. Maybe I can help.
No, I'm afraid not.
But tell me, Mason.
No, I don't want to involve you in it, Gina. I don't even want to tell you about it.
Why not?
Because just knowing about it could get you into trouble.
Well, how about the trouble you can get into?
Well, the expression, I have nothing to lose, could have been freshly coined today just for me.
I'm just so curious about what it could be.
I'll tell you this. It's going to hit Dad even harder than finding the two of us together.
Will it change anything for us?
Well, one never knows how these things reverberate. But if I were you, I'd steer clear of the atrium tonight because it may not be very pretty. I'm going to rob my loving father of his grandest illusion.
Excuse me. See, Mason always has to have the final say, the final blow, even though it's his fault. And I think he's planning to do something that's going to harm you, and I think it's going to be drastic.
I'm afraid you're right.
All right, then I think you should stop it right away. Talk to him, Cece, before it goes too far. Confront him.
No, I don't want to say anything to him until the trial is over. I don't want to take a chance on jeopardizing Ted's defense.
You're right.
The court will now reconvene. All of you come in and please be seated.
Sophia. This couldn't be a worse time or place, but it'll have to do. I can't wait.
Time for what?
To tell you how much I love you.
I love you too.
And that I want to share every moment of happiness that I have left with you. No, I never stop thinking of you as my wife. But as soon as I'm free of Gina, I want you to marry me again. Would you marry me, my love?
Yes, of course. Oh, of course I'll marry. Of course I will.
I thought I knew your every expression and your every mood, but I don't think I've seen that look on your face right now. What are you thinking?
I was just doing what my parents always taught me to do when things got out of control. I was praying. Guess we ought to go in there, huh?
Look, I feel a lot better about things now that I talked to you, Cruz. I don't know, maybe it's what you said to me about trust. I do trust you. And I have faith in you. And I love you. And I feel better. Maybe your prayers have been answered, huh?
I sure hope so.
Your family is a very close one, isn't it, Christy?
Yes, very close.
Yes, it's quite impressive to see. And, quite recent, I gather. You've all been living separately until quite recently, isn't that true?
Yes.
Why is that?
It just worked out that way.
Did the separation have anything to do with your mother being an alcoholic?
She stopped that. She quit drinking the day after I was attacked.
Are the two events related?
Yes, she wanted to be able to take care of me.
Oh, that's very touching. Very laudable. Your sister Mary is living with you now, too, isn't she?
Yes, you know she is.
That's what I want the judge and jury to know, too, Christy. Your sister Mary was a nun living in a convent, but she left the order shortly after you were raped. Is that true?
Yes.
She wanted to be with you to help you through the ordeal, along with your mother, correct?
That's part of it.
And your stepbrother is living close to the three of you, I believe.
Next door.
Well, then something good did come out of this tragedy after all, didn't it? Your family was reunited.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I'm very happy about it, of course.
I should think you would be. Why did you run away from home, Christy? What were you afraid of?
Nothing. Besides, I didn't run away from home.
Well, you left home in great haste by climbing out your bedroom window, didn't you?
Well, yeah, but I...
Is that how you told your sister you left the house?
No.
What did you tell her?
I told her that I left because I was going to make my own way.
So you lied to her?
That's not a lie.
Oh, and what would you call it then?
It's just another way of saying something.
I see. Well, do you remember what you told your mother when you left home, Christy?
No, I don't remember.
Think hard, Christy. I can easily call your mother to the stand.
I told her that I got a part in a movie and that they needed me right away.
But there wasn't any movie, was there, Christy? You lied to your mother about that, didn't you?
Only so she wouldn't worry.
Well, she didn't have anything to worry about after that, did she? Because every time you called home after that, you had good news for her about your glamorous jobs and your wealthy admirers.
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel's not questioning the witness. He's testifying himself.
Sustained. Put it in the form of a question, Mr. Capel.
Yes, Your Honor. The truth is, Christy, that there wasn't much truth to these stories you were telling your mother, was there? In fact, they were all lies, weren't they?
I had a lot of good jobs.
Huh? Such as being a cocktail waitress in a bowling alley until they found out you'd been lying about your age and using a fake ID. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Objection. What's the point of these questions?
The point, Your Honor, is to show the discrepancy between the stories Miss Duval was telling her family and the way she was actually living at that time. The point is to illustrate her tendency to tell a lie rather than the truth whenever given a choice.
Objection overruled. Move on, Mr. Capel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Christy, let's talk about more pleasant things. When you were in that hospital bed after you'd been raped, you came to and found your family gathered all around you. That must have been a wonderful feeling.
It was.
They were concerned and loving, and all was forgiven. And since they'd already decided it was Ted Capwell who raped you, it must have been easy to fall back into your old habits and lie just to please them.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, you'd already done that, Christy, when you lied about your jobs and your boyfriends. You did that to please your mother, didn't you?
That's different.
How is it different?
It just is.
Your family seemed to want you to name Ted Capwell, and if naming Ted meant that you'd all stay together, well, what's one more lie in a lifetime of lies?
Objection. Talk about making speeches.
Objection sustained.
Lying is a way of life for you, isn't it, Christy? It's the only way you know to get what you want. It's the way you get attention, isn't it? Isn't it true that you lied about the rape just to keep your family around, and when they started making sacrifices for you, you just went right on lying?
Objection. Counsel had better follow his own advice and stop psychoanalyzing the witness.
You're a liar and a perjurer, Christy. And you lied when you said it was Ted Capel who raped you, didn't you?
Objection!
Didn't you? Order in this court. Order in this court. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Now, Christy, have you told us anything but the truth here?
I'm telling the truth.
Admit it, Christy. When your sister asked you if Ted Capwell was the one who raped you, didn't you simply take the easy way out and say yes? Wasn't it simply easier?
You don't understand. I love my family and they love me. It was so hard for them. Having to tell them what had happened to me would be... It was the hardest thing that I've done in my life.
Well, it's the way you've gone through your life, Christy. Maybe you don't know the difference between a lie and the truth anymore.
Sustained. You're out of order, Consul.
Your Honor, a fine young man has been accused of a crime he didn't commit by this girl who's been proven over and over again to be a liar.
Proven by whom? You're the only one who's called her that, Capel.
Her own mother and sister know it. Bassett!
That's enough. I won't tolerate this bickering between you two.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Christie, what have you gained by accusing Ted? Are you trying to protect someone else? Or do you just hate him because he didn't want you? Is it a punishment? Because if it is, for God's sakes, he's been punished enough.
Objection.
Why don't you just admit that it's a lie, Christie? Or are you so lacking in conscience that you don't care if an innocent person goes to prison because of you?
I can't help it if he goes to prison. It's him who's committing crime. Any woman would know who raped and beat her. I know is Ted Capwell.
It's over. We won.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Bassett, will you redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ball, you may step down. I said you may step down, Mr. Ball.
I don't want to step down,
Counsel have finished questioning.
but I'm not finished. I have something that I want to say.
And there's more from Santa Barbara at the same time tomorrow. Here on Sky One in half an hour, we've the Brady Bunch. First, it's time to join Christopher Biggins to see if he can start the search for Wife of the Week.